to understand the essence of franchising. And according to the definition, we can say that franchising is a right which our manufacturers or different businesses give to others. And this right allows the beneficiaries to sell the products or services of those manufacturers or businesses. And also this right could even be in a term of access to some intellectual property rights. So the definition which we will consider, you can see on this broadsheet, and according to this definition, we can say that franchising is a form of business organization in which a company that already has a successful product or services, it will be our franchisor, license its trademark and method of doing business to another businesses or individuals. These businesses or individuals, it's our franchisee, in exchange for franchise fee and an ongoing royalty payments. So maybe something is not now so clear, but during a few next broadsheets you will see, and I'm sure you will be in this topic. So here you can see the main areas in which you can buy franchise and you can conduct business, of course, and you can see the segmentation of our market of franchising according to the different directions or different industries. So the biggest part, as we can see, it's our service industry. Also, it's fast food, not just fast food and other directions. It could be a retail selling and so on. So, who could be involved in this activity of franchising or in this process? So, first of all, we remember that franchising is like agreement where one part grants to another part some rights and authorities to do this type of business. So the first part, who is owner of this idea, is our franchisor. And the second part, it could be another businesses or people, and they will, it's our franchisee. So franchisor will sell this rights to franchisee. Also, franchising is a well-known marketing strategy for business expansion. Between our two parts, we will have an agreement. And according to the agreement, as I told before, franchisor authorized franchisee to sell their products, services, goods, and give some rights to use their trademark and brand name. In this case, we can say that franchisee will act as a dealer. So, on this slide, you can see that franchisor is the business selling the right to trade its products or services. And our franchisee is a company or person buying this franchise. I hope it's understandable who is franchisor and who is franchisee. So, of course, there are a lot of different businesses, franchise businesses. And here you can see the most popular one. Some of them exist in Ukraine. And I hope that you know not just McDonald's or KFC franchise which operates in Ukraine. What about other franchise? I mean Ukrainian franchise. Do you know? You have no idea about franchise which operate in Ukraine? Especially in hockey, maybe you know.
Aroma Kava,
Aroma Kava, yes. What else?
Sweeter,
Yeah,
coffee chains.
yeah. Ну, львівські круасани also.
Kulinichi maybe
Yeah, it's also
closed.
Yeah. But it's like our native franchise, but different like departments we have in other regions, also in Poltava, as I know. I don't assume, I am not sure, but I guess, yeah. And also there are a lot of small franchises. It's could be Altbier. They are also conducting their activity as franchise. Stargard. What else? And other beer companies. So, but I am sure that on our practical classes, you will consider more and you will prepare some presentations about different franchises which exist in Ukraine. So, as any type of business, we have some rules how to conduct this special business. And our franchisee has some rules. So, for our franchise, we have two different parties which are involved in this franchise agreement. And this agreement allows the franchise to use franchisor's brand name and sell its products or services. And in return, our franchisee will pay a fee to this franchisor. Franchisee, or we, as a buyer of this idea, may sell those products and services by operating as a branch of the parent company, and it may even use some franchising rights by selling those products under its own business venture. So, as a franchisor, franchisee, you need to follow such rules as, first of all, you must use franchisor suppliers. What it means? It means that even if you found the better one for your opinion, you can't use this one. Of course, in your agreement, you have strict requirements and strict recommendations whom you need, whom ideas, which suppliers to use. Also, you must use the franchisor's equipment, again, according to the same agreement. You must follow the franchisor's rules and regulations. It means that, especially if you are producer of some products and you want to change recipe, you can do it. Of course, buying this franchise, you are buying everything. Some technological calculations for products, some requirements for services, for marketing, etc. And the last one, you must give a share of your profit or sales to your franchisor. It will be your royalty fee. Of course, not just royalty fee you will pay, but the main one is royalty fee. Royalty fee, it's like a rental payment, but for this idea of business. Okay. Next one, it's principles of franchising. Since the beginning of franchising, there have been some principles that ensure that franchise system grows and is perspective. These principles of franchising have never changed, and they represent a foundation in which every successful franchise is built. It's also believed that those who understand and adapt to these principles of franchising will increase their profitability in a few times. The first principle of franchising, it's that franchisor should disclose all information upfront, and you should be in this business not just to buy and wait for profit from this franchise. Also, all franchises should make money. When it comes to building a new franchise, it must be structured so that the business can be profitable. And after all, the point of owning a business is to make money, first of all. In addition to offering some proper training, franchisors should be responsible for ensuring their franchisee has all the tools they need to be successful in this type of business. What tools we will consider here? It could be information about future expenses of this business. Help in conducting this business, constantly supporting, training staff of this franchise, etc. Also, when we are talking about franchise, we are talking about long-term results, not just short-term benefits. And in this case, you need to ensure that you have the capital to keep your franchise constantly working, and it's of course the situation that you are waiting for making some money. It's also important to remember that not every franchisee reach the same level of success. Some franchisees find success later, and it's not, of course, the features of franchise. Of course, we will sell the same idea for different franchisees, but they can realize this idea, they can work on this idea in different ways. So it means that if you are buying franchise and you know that it's successful, and for one franchisee, profit will be near, I don't know, profitability will be near 80%. It's not constantly true for you. For you, it could be less or more, depends on your skills and your management of this franchise. So, and here you can see an example that one franchise can make a profit in 16%, but another will make it really high. So that to choose right franchise, you should study everything and not just advantages, but also disadvantages of such business. Next one, what we'll consider, it's types of our franchising. And there are just two of them. First one, it's trade name and product distribution. And another one, it's franchising of business format. What are the features and differences between them? Let's consider now. First one, it's product franchising. It's the earliest type of franchising. And under this, our franchisee will have a right to distribute some goods from their manufacturer. In this case, you as franchisee will pay a fee for the right to sell trademarked goods of producers. An example, it could be, for example, Coca-Cola. When here you can see you are buying a syrup concentrate, and you are producing from this syrup a final drink, and you are selling this under the name of Coca-Cola company. So it's a product distribution franchise. Here we can see that product distribution franchise is an agreement under which our franchisor grants to our franchisee the right to buy its product and use its brand name. This approach typically connects a single manufacturer with a network of dealers or distributors. The same type of franchise we can say about Pepsi Cola or some products which we are just selling or reselling. That's all. Another type is business format franchise. It's the most popular type of franchising, especially nowadays. And most of examples which you have named, it's franchise of business format. According to the business format franchising, we can say that it's an agreement under which our franchisor offers the wide range of services to the franchisee, and it's not just a concrete product or service. They will offer to the franchisee also such rights as marketing, advertising, strategic planning, training of the staff, production of operations, some standards, quality, etc. And they will control how you are using all these benefits and all these штучки, all these things in your business. So it's like a formula how to do business, what to do that to be successful. And the main times is KFC, McDonald's, Starbucks, Ukrainian is Lviv croissants, Nova Pochta, some, again, Altbirg or Stargardt. What it means? It means that does not matter where this business will be located, everything will be the same. The same design, the same service, the same products. So we will see that it's, for example, McDonald's. Does not matter. This McDonald's in Kharkiv, Poltava, or Lviv. Everywhere will be the same. And you will eat the same products, the same quality, etc. So such franchise with this wide range of different additional features, it's business format franchise. Okay, so here you can see an example of such franchise. And also some well-known European franchise and Ukrainian one. Unfortunately, I don't know about all of them, but about some I heard. Such franchise as Nova Pochta, unfortunately, not in this list. Maybe now the situation is different, and Nova Pochta is in top, the most prospective franchise in Ukraine. But for this, we need additional investigation. So, as we can catch that franchising is buying existing business, why it's useful. First one, it's reduction of uncertainties of startup. Of course, new business idea, you need some period of time for realizing this idea, for getting some results, for getting profit, etc. When you are buying franchise, you are sure that this idea is successful. Also, it's bargain a price, acquisition of ongoing operations and relationships, and quick start. You will see everything, you will have everything there to start business in a short period of time. The main benefits of buying franchise are, first of all, it's management training and support. You will have a mentor who will help you and who will involve you in this type of business. Also, it's brand name appeal, standardized quality, national advertising, some financial assistance, proven products and business formats. Also, it's centralized buying power, site selection and territorial protection, and greater chance of success. So as you can see here, it's not constantly successful, it will be, but the higher chance that to be successful. But not everything so good as we want. And there are some disadvantages. First one, it's cost of this franchise and ongoing royalties. While some initial investments of the franchise fee buys a lot of benefits for franchisee, it also could be costly, especially if you are joining very well-known and profitable franchise. And while this often translates to large profit, that's why for big franchise you will pay a lot. Also, from this you will need to pay royalties each month or each week, depends on your agreement. Next disadvantage is strict adherence of standardized operations. It means that you can't change something, you have some standards, requirements, and you should follow all of them. Also, it's restrictions on purchasing, a limited product line, some contract terms and renewal, market saturation, and less freedom. So it was about types of franchising and some benefits and disadvantages. Next one, it's types of franchise agreements. It's not the same as types of franchise in general. So it's according to the agreement. The first one, it's a single unit franchise agreement. This agreement grants to the franchisee the right to open and operate a single franchise unit or just one shop, for example. This type of agreement, as you can see, is the simplest and the most frequently used when you are just starting to do some business. Why we are starting from this single unit agreement? Of course, the situation that is our first step into the world of franchising. And we don't have a lot of experience and we want just to try to understand, could we work in such direction or no? That's why it's the simplest and the most common type of franchise, and many new franchisee starts their business life from this single unit franchise agreement. Next one, it's multi-unit franchise agreement. According to the name, I guess it's understandable that according to this agreement, our franchisee has the right to open and operate more than one unit of this franchise. Moreover, this multi-unit agreement is not bound to some specific territory. Franchisee may have units in different areas of town. And in some cases, this franchise agreement come with some deadlines in which the franchisee must adhere to the schedule for developing and for developing some contract number of units. And if franchisee fails to meet the agreed upon schedule, in this case, our franchisor may have the right to contact with other interested parties. So, for example, if you buy this multi-unit franchise agreement in Kharkiv as for Nova Pochta, it means that for some period of time during this agreement, you need to open, I don't know, 20 units or 20 additional departments of Nova Pochta. If you did not do it for this period of time, it means that owner of this business idea will say, okay, I will sell this idea to another person. So it's a main restriction of such multi-unit franchise agreement. Next one, it's area franchise agreement. It's similar to multi-unit agreement, according to which our franchisee has a right to open and operate a lot of units during some specific some period of time. However, with this franchise agreement, the franchisor also grants our franchisee some exclusive rights for development in particular territory. And it means that no other franchisees will be allowed to open their units of this franchise in that geographic area during the contract period of time. So, according to this agreement, just you will operate and nobody else will be in this geographical area. That's all. And the last one type which we will consider is our master franchise agreement. This agreement will give franchisees more rights than area agreement. And along with the right and obligation to open a certain number of units within some specific territory, this master franchisee also has a right to sell franchise within their geographic location to other people. In this case, franchisees will take a lot of responsibilities of franchisor. And you will be as franchisor or sub-franchisor, and you will have your own franchisees. So, as you can see, in this case, you have more rights, and for you, it's better. Of course, you will sell this franchise to another people or businesses. But of course, if you have more rights, it means that this agreement, this franchise will be more expensive than a single unit or even multi-unit franchise. So, the basic elements of franchise agreement which should be in your agreement, doesn't matter what type of agreement, it will be overview of the relationship, duration of your franchise agreement, initial and continuing fees, assigned territory, site selection and development, initial and ongoing training and support, use of the intellectual property, including trademarks, patterns, and manuals, also features of advertising, insurance requirements, record keeping and rights to audit the franchisee's records, and to all other aspects which you think is important for you as franchisor or for you as franchisee. Okay. One is the common franchising terms which we usually use. It's first one, franchisee fee or initial fee. It's one-time fee or one-time payment for an agreement. Total investment in amount which you will spend on opening business, for example, for rent. It's royalties. It's how much you will pay weekly or monthly to your franchisee. Also, it's term, number of years for this agreement. Some features of renewal, its terms outlined in agreement. License transfer, selling your franchise, and franchise disclosure document. It's the main terms of franchising. From this previous slide, you can see that in franchising, not everything is good, but a lot of advantages, of course. And there are some myths of franchising, that it's the safest way to go, but not always. Of course, for somebody, franchise will give the high profits, but for another, the same franchise, unfortunately, will have the low profitability. Second, it's less money to open, but again, depends on the agreement and on the brand of this franchise. It will costs will be different. That bigger franchise organization is more successful. Use 80% of business format. All are the same. No need for hand-on management. Anyone can be successful. Cheapest way to get into business, and all problems will be solved and run things the way I want to. The last one is especially not true. First, you should follow to the requirements and rules of franchisor. Okay, there are some recommendations why it's great idea to buy franchise and how to do it. First of all, you need to evaluate yourself, then research your market where you're going to start your business, consider your options, then get a copy of franchisor's idea, talk to existing franchisees, ask some important questions for you, and after this, make your choice. And some traits the good franchisor have. First one, it's of course there is plenty of support. Also, it's advertising that franchisor is flexible. Franchisor keeps up adapting to the market. Franchisor has a solid reputation. Franchisor is fairly large, and franchisor is franchisee friendly. On this slide, you can see the main steps which you will have in purchasing a franchise. Of course, we can divide into some smaller steps or vice versa, just in the main or most important of them. But it's my vision. That's why, yeah, here you can see such steps. So the first one is that you need to find the right franchise concept for you, which fits you. That's why you need to see a lot of different franchises to compare them, and from this big list to choose just a few, near 3 or 5 franchises. After this, it's important to meet with franchisor for these ideas and to get their documents, their requirements, and explanation how this business is doing. Then review all franchise documents with high level of attention to some features. After this, if everything is suitable for you, you can sign this franchise agreement with your franchisor. Then franchisor will give you some additional training, information about features of this business, and will constantly support you. And after this, you will open your, in this case, own business or your franchise business. So it's the main steps which you can have. And as we told before, that franchising it's not so cheap. It's in some cases costly. That's why the main costs which are associated with buying franchise you can see here. First one is franchise fee or initial franchise fee, or as we know, it could be seed capital for starting some startup. It's our one-time payment made by our franchisee to franchisor for join the franchise system and usually upon signing a franchise agreement. It's typically a flat payment as opposite to the percentage royalty, and it's used by franchisor to offset the franchisee startup costs, marketing for franchisees, and other corporate expenses. Second one, it's our royalty, or like a rent. It's an ongoing fee that our franchisee pays to franchisor. And franchisor uses the royalty fee to support its existing franchisees and maintain and grow the franchise system. As I told before, royalty will be paid weekly or monthly, and most commonly is calculated as a percentage of gross sales, and typically this percent is from 5 till 9%. But it's not the stable amount of money, not constantly 100 or 100. It depends on your sales. But of course, from 5 till 9%, it's not constantly, it depends on your franchise. Third one, it's fee for the advertising pool. Franchise system typically has such type of costs as advertising fund or brand fund. This amount of money we need to pay for the creation and placement for advertising and to offset the franchisor's administrative costs relating to brand advertising. And these payments, advertising payments, are typically calculated also as a percentage of your gross sales, and usually it's from 1 till 5%. And we are paying advertising fee at the same time as royalty fee. That's why it means that you will pay near 10% of royalty fee plus 5% of advertising fee. It's near 15% each month you will pay from your sales. And the last one, it's capital requirements, or it could be named as market introduction program costs. It's amount of money for your market introduction program. For example, that to launch your franchisee location, including some grant operating, advertising, and activities. And usually this market introduction program costs, you will hear in a last several weeks before opening your franchise business. But of course, all these fees and expenses are only part of franchisee's total startup costs or your initial investments. And these initial investments generally include franchisee fee, cost of fixed assets, inventory, some deposits, other fees and costs, and also working capital required during some startup period. So it's not mean that you will just give an idea or give money for this idea and franchisor will give you everything. No, you will need also investments for renting this equipment, for rental costs, etc. So that's all for this topic. And if you have any questions, you are welcome.
Recording stopped.
So you are quiet. It means that no questions, yeah? All right. So if you have no questions, for today, that's all for today's topic. And please don't forget to mark your attendance on PNS. And you can be free till the end of this lecture.